Hello everyone, this is Kian. I am at Heathrow Terminal 3. This is the second time of the year I am here now. I can't believe last time it was 4 months ago. The summer went away quite quickly. So this long weekend, Oscar and I are going to New York. This is very much like a last-minute trip due to a promotion in the summer. Last time I went to New York was about 10 years ago. It's just very interesting to see what New York is like nowadays, considering how much bad price I've seen throughout the COVID period previously. Today we are flying Virgin Atlantic economy to New York JFK because it's a quite short flight. I think 6-7 hours nowadays is not really long to me comparing to flying to Asia, and we are away for quite a short period of time as well, so we thought it's better to save money and fly economy. In 2017 we didn't really have a good impression of Virgin Atlantic's economy at the time, so hopefully this time I'll have a new impression. Let's go check in. So the check-in Terminal 3 for Virgin Atlantic is in Zone A. Economy is where the red headings is. Oscar and I are Virgin Atlantic Silver members, so we can check in using the premium check-in lane. As you can see, super quiet today. We're taking the 8 p.m. departure to New York, and I think it's gonna be quite empty, hopefully. We are now on the way to the security upstairs. The check-in went very smoothly. There's literally no one. The entire airport is actually quite deserted at this time of the day.
A few moments later.
The security in Heathrow is as shit as usual because they are full of retards who seem to never have traveled before. And once again, there are people who are just so selfish, unpacking their trays from the belts, which cause a traffic jam of the items on the belt, and also those people who did not put their trays back to the bin, therefore cause delays. I just don't understand why people can be that selfish and non-considerate. As usual in Terminal 3 before the flights, we are going into the Centurion Lounge, which is tucked in the corner of the terminal. In my prior video, I complained about the food because it's very ethnic. So I'm very looking forward to see whether the food is the same this time or it might be different. There's a lift right here. Level 2. In contrast to last time, the lounge is super quiet now. There's no one around. What an oasis. This is the food offering today, the cold salad bar. Looks still very ethnic. The food is really bad. So anyway, I got some fruit and maybe I'll have something else later. There's a bar behind me, as you can see. I got one of the cocktails off the menu, which is called Bella Vita. Lovely. I like this. It's kind of very strong cocktail and not sweet at all. So it's pretty good, and I think it's quite a nice lounge to sit in because it's really quiet. Honestly, everyone, just see what Oscar got. This is not appetizing at all. It's just like orange slop. Oh, well, anyway, Oscar's enjoying and he likes Mediterranean ethnic food.
Right, those right, stand.
Is Oscar happy?
Fine.
Only just fine. Num 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 num. Yum yum yum.
Yeah, it's yummy. Yum, yum, yum.
Now we're on the way to the boarding gate. The food in the lounge was as disappointing as 4 months ago. It's just all those ethnic food. I really don't like those ethnic food. For example, Moroccan, Indian, that type of food. I don't understand why those foods can symbolize the UK, because I thought the Centurion Lounge is trying to provide the food which reflects where the lounge is located. For example, in Hong Kong, they have this classic Cantonese soup, dim sum, for example. But in the UK, why is it all curry and Moroccan food? It does not make sense to me, and I want my American food. So I barely had anything. I had some sandwiches, some fruit, a lot of drink. We are now on board as we are silver members of Virgin Atlantic. We were in group 2, and so yeah, we're basically one of the first few people getting on board the economy. And Oscar is there, and I'm here. Apparently, according to the cabin crew, it's only 50% full, so it's gonna be a very quiet flight. I'm very happy, and there's no one between us, so we have more space to stretch out. And this lighting is very unique. It's very purple, and
The Euphoria bisexual lighting.
I see. It's very purple, and it's making my teeth really white. The space is actually not too bad, but it's definitely not generous. And I think the seat is still quite narrow. Apart from that, they do have a upgraded monitor for the in-flight entertainment on the A350 comparing to what we took years ago. And as you can see, here's the empty middle seats. I'm just dumping a few things there. And Oscar is right over here. Hello, Oscar. So the flight is very empty, as I said earlier. Before takeoff, we moved to a seat 2 rows in front of ours because it's the economy delight seat, which has more leg room. So we are more comfortable now with more leg room to stretch out. After takeoff, a round of drink and snack is served. The corn stuff, pretty good. Oscar is reading, and I am watching the Garfield movie, and I really want lasagna now. The first meal, dinner, is served. For the main dish, there are 2 choices. One is a barbecue chicken, second is a macaroni and cheese. From my experience in premium economy 4 months ago, the mac and cheese is actually pretty good because the chicken at the time wasn't really good. So I opted for macaroni and cheese. A starter of some sort of very ethnic again. The theme of everything in the UK is just ethnic. I don't understand why. This does not symbolize the UK. Anyway, moving on, there's some cheese and crackers and a chocolate pot. I asked for some red wine with my meal. The red wine is in a can. Okay, so let's try the starter, which is the very ethnic quinoa and chickpeas and some sort of salad dish, which looks like this. Well, I think the flavor profile is good, but I wouldn't want to choose something like this if I was in a restaurant or if I was making it at home. So it's fine. It's very refreshing. It has some kind of orange flavor as well. One thing to note is that in economy, all of the cutleries are those recyclable paper ones, like this. There's the fork, and there's the knife. To be fair, I have to say, the food is actually very similar to what is actually served in branded economy. There's not really much difference. I think during COVID at one point, Virgin really went budgeting. They were serving meals in a paper box because everything could have been thrown away.
The meal portion was really small according to the photos I saw online during the time. But I think after COVID, all of the economy meals went back to the normal size. So it's actually not too bad. This is the bread roll, which is identical to what's being served from economy. Last time I didn't have that. We're happy for the road trip and it went moldy after a few days. So this time I'm going to have that. This is not warm, it's very cold. I just bent my knife. The bread is too hard. Oh my god. It went really crumbly as well. Look at this shit. I don't really understand why this bread is like a half-baked bread. I feel like this bread needs a longer baking procedure before being served to passengers. It's a bit odd. It's really like some sort of bread that you buy from the supermarket, which is like half-baked, that you have to bake at home before eating. This is almost the identical texture. And the wine in the pan. Yeah, so it's not really good. And apparently it's vegan. Nowadays, most companies are making things like a vegan or whatever to make them somehow like ethical and sustainable, but I don't really think so. I don't know why people think vegan products just means sustainable. Not really, it's just like a marketing strategy. So anyway, it's not really good. I tried the rosé earlier, it's not good either. I tried the white one last time from Premier Economy, it's not good either. So for the main meal, I opted for the macaroni and cheese, which looks like this. Looks pretty good. Let's see whether it tastes good as well. Very good. There's something missing from economy meal service is individual sachets of pepper salt. It's usually included in the cutlery package of the other airlines, but not on Virgin Atlantic. However, I do think this macaroni and cheese has been seasoned quite well. I would prefer some peppers on top though. Overall, I think the meal is plenty. I only had half of the macaroni and cheese, and I'm actually quite full and feeling sick already. This meal is just full of fat and carbohydrate. So if you do want to have like a healthy diet or trying not to eat so much carb or fat, I do recommend ordering a special meal. I think they offer the low fat meal, which might be more appropriate for your diet. I haven't had the cheese and crackers, so I think I'm just keep it for later of the flight because I am actually feeling quite. I actually don't really like dessert because I don't really have a sweet tooth, but Oscar has sweet teeth. So I offered my chocolate pot to Oscar. How do you feel about this dessert?
It's fine. It's just a little pot of ganache. I think it's a vegan product. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not like Ian. I'm fine with vegan products. I think it's made with coconut oil rather than cream. And it definitely has that taste. Any other person who has plant-based diet will know the taste of like oil-based things rather than cream-based things. It's pleasant.
I have confirmed what Oscar said based on the packaging. It is gluten-free, dairy-free, palm oil-free, and plant-based. So it is the typical, very marketable item sold in the supermarket. I honestly think it's just a marketing strategy. So after this meal, I think my conclusion for the Virgin Atlantic economy is the meal is plenty, it's tasty, and they're trying really hard to be inclusive, which really reflects what the brand is trying to sell. I mean, there are people who agree with their marketing strategy, who like what they are trying to be, but it's really based on the personal preference. I wouldn't mind choosing economy again on Virgin Atlantic. based on this meal choice. Before the flight, I was actually really worried I would be hungry, but no, the meal is very filling and tasty. So before I was able to digest the dinner, here comes the mid-flight service of a iced lollipop. Apparently it's very healthy because it's made of fruit juice and vegetable juice. So this is the same service as in Prime Economy last time. Whoa. Oh. It's too hard. No, I can't. Yeah, so probably about 15 minutes ago, I went to the back galley to get some water, and I saw those ice lollies left outside on the counter to defrost. I was like, isn't it too much to defrost so much earlier? But now I know why, because it is honestly frozen and super solid. I cannot bite it off. It's not like some sort of ice lollies from the normal freezer. I don't really know why ice cream or ice lollies on the aircraft are super frozen. It's impossible. Yeah. Tastes very healthy. Around 1 hour and 20 minutes before landing, we have the afternoon tea, which is basically almost midnight tea if we are counting on the UK time. So in this blind box, we have a sandwich, some clotted cream, and some jam. And this is a warm scone. I asked for a cup of tea with milk to go with my afternoon tea. In the UK, there's always an argument of cream first or jam first on scone. One of them is the Cornwall style, one is the Devon style, but I don't care. When I have scone, I split the scone in half and put jam on one side and clotted cream on the other side and make a sandwich. There's no argument of whether it's a Cornwall style or it's a Devon style. It's just absolutely nonsense of people arguing such a minor, tiny things. It doesn't make sense because the cream and jam cannot spread on top of each other. Clotted cream. So what I do is dump the pot of cream on one side. Here's the jam. I don't really like it too sweet, so I just squirt a little bit. Squirt the jam on the other side of the scone. Like this, and then close up like that. A scone sandwich is made a perfect way of eating the scone. Here's the sandwich. So I'm having the mozzarella and tomato. Another one is cream cheese and cucumber. Yeah, I think the difference between the economy's afternoon tea and the premium economy's afternoon tea is in premium economy, there was also a separate pastry. Whether it was savory or sweet, it was a choice. But I really don't think that's necessary again because the flight is not that long and there are snacks at the back of the galley as well. There's a story of the tea time at the back of the box. Well, I think this hungry duchess must be a fat.
3 days later.
After a 3-day and 3 nights long weekend trip in New York, Oscar and I are on the way to New York JFK Airport. We are flying back to London tonight, taking the 9 p.m. departure by Virgin Atlantic in economy again. We are on the Long Island Railway to Jamaica Station, and at Jamaica Station we will connect to a monorail which takes us to the terminal. It is a very economical way to get to the airport, and there's worry-free about traffic jam. As we saw in the past few days, the traffic in New York was just horrendous. We would be super worried we would be late to the airport if we were taking an Uber. $8.50 daylight robbery.
With a heavy heart, Oscar and I are on the air train. Every time when we are leaving the United States of America, we just felt really upset because all the holidays we had here have been super great so far. We bought a lot of things, we ate a lot of junk food and enjoyed all of the sceneries. I will be documenting tonight's flight to London. Well, I'll try if I'm not falling asleep straight away after taking off, because I am going to work straight away from the airport tomorrow morning. I'll see whether I can take some videos or photos of the meals and the flight service items when I'm awake. Virgin Atlantic operates from JFK to Norfolk, which is the second terminal stop of this air train.
Premium is at the end of row 5. The Centurion Lounge is next to the Chase Sapphire Lounge, tucked away on the left-hand side of the terminal after security. So I'm currently in the shower room of the American Express Centurion Lounge after waiting for almost 1 hour. Here's the mirror by the door. The toilet right over here. a stool. This is the shower room. All of the amenities are by L'Occitane, which is quite standard. I remember when I took a shower in Hong Kong, it was L'Occitane as well. And over here is just a sink, some of my items. I just came back from the shower. I'm very relaxed and ready to sleep now, to be fair. My opinion on this lounge is that it's actually quite busy, crowded, and not very clean. I think they should probably hire more cleaning staff to turn around the table quicker. In London, I feel like there was always a staff available to clean the table. The dining option here is more me, I think. I do enjoy the chicken and some plain roasted vegetables comparing to ethnic food. However, if we are only talking about the choices of dining options, there are definitely more dining choices in London, as there were more dishes available. Over here, there is that chicken and a pasta. I suppose the pasta is vegetarian. Apart from that, it's just salad, soup, and some roasted vegetable. I guess it depends what people like and whether you want simple food or you want something more exotic or ethnic. We're on the way to the gate now. I feel very refreshed. How about Oscar?
I'm exhausted.
We just boarded the flight. Tonight the aircraft is the A330-900, or it's called the A330neo. I'm very happy the seat arrangement is 242, so we chose the pair seat by the window, and it's the last row of the front cabin. I quite enjoy the last row of any cabin because I could just lay back the seat straight away after taking off without really worrying about disturbing the passengers behind me when they have to dine. Oscar is next to me by the aisle. I am by the window, so hopefully I can sleep quite well.
Dinner is served, I try to stay awake and I got the meal. The main dish was the choice between chicken tikka masala, bracket disgusting, and ravioli. It started as a Caesar salad with a chocolate pot, and I have cheese and crackers and bread. I asked for 2 white one. Oscar pre-ordered vegetarian meal. The main dish is the same as mine. However, he got a better look salad. You look at the mozzarella balls, so tempting. And then there's also this nonsense all-inclusive brownie. By all-inclusive, I mean it's vegan, it's kosher, it's halal. Well, basically a piece of artificial chocolate stuff. And he doesn't have a piece of cheese or crackers. And over here, I didn't get butter, but it is a naturally and artificially flavored butter spread. I just finished my meal. I found the pasta extremely tasteless. Otherwise, everything else was good.
It's fine. There's nothing to complain about, really. I don't really have much input. It tastes like decent aeroplane food.
Oscar seems very easy to please. I have just arrived in London Heathrow Airport. The flight was actually not bad. I slept quite well. Now I feel pretty good, but I'm sure I'm going to have a energy crash later. I think after this New York trip, taking Virgin Atlantic economy, going to New York and coming back to London, it has changed my opinion on the economy product of Virgin Atlantic. The new seat, in-flight entertainment, and new aircraft have definitely improved the economy product. I wouldn't hesitate choosing Virgin Atlantic economy again in the future. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Please also follow my Instagram. Thanks for watching.
Hello, Oscar.
I don't have anything to say. Sorry.
I see.